Hey y'all, Miles J here. So today I'm going to be doing another fall makeup tutorial. Now in the past, my fall makeup tutorials have been centered around a theme. The first one was Screamo. The second one was ASMR, keep it on the low. This one is just, to be quite honest with you, I ran out of ideas. I know how that sounds, but just like how many times can I flip and flop red, brown, orange, yellow, gold? But with that being said, I did come up with this monochrome brown fall makeup tutorial. So without further ado, let's get started. Today's theme is nude browns. Nude browns everywhere on the face, the eyes, the lips, everywhere. But before we get into the makeup, I'm gonna wash my face with the Vanity Planet Spa Skincare System. It's a spin brush that includes 3 brush heads and a travel case for that girl on the go. This brush also has 2 speed settings, low and high. Once you totally nail getting your face wash onto the top of your brush like I did, begin washing your face. Now when I use spin brushes, I only use them 3 days a week because using them every day might be a little bit too abrasive for my sensitive skin. I also try to avoid pressing down too hard. I really wanted to see if I could use this to remove my makeup, so I used the silicone brush to remove my garnet makeup from my previous tutorial and just expertly applied some makeup remover on, as you can see. Face, unfortunately, it got everywhere, like on my sweater and on my wall, and yeah, it was a little bit messy. Now, this normally retails for $130, but you can get it now for 70% off, just $39 when you use the code MJ39 at the link in my description. First thing I'm going to do is prime the face with the Touch and Sol. What is this called? Priming water. It says it is Bulgarian toning water and essential oil. Now I put this, of course, underneath my foundation, because if you try to put this on top, it will separate the hell out of your makeup and you do not want to be streaky. So the reason why I love this one, especially for winter, which is coming up real shortly, is because my skin gets really dry during the cold season. Like really dry. Like my skin has been so dry these past few weeks. And then I had to go to DC for YouTube Black, which is fun all the way. A nice little rejuvenation. Speaking of rejuvenation and YouTube Black, let's quickly touch on this YouTube Black controversy. It's really not even controversial. Every time I bring up YouTube Black, on the internet at least, I always get some comments saying like, what about YouTube White? And it's always from these trolls, like, who know better, who just know better and want to take your time from you in order to make you explain to them something that they already know and also don't care about. I know y'all know better, I know you do. So let's just not even ask that question in the comments, and instead you can ask Google, because Google is free and is available to you 24/7. Moving on to the next product, I'm going to be putting on some concealer. This is going to be a little bit orangey. I'm going to use this, cover my beard. I'm using a Morphe concealer. I'm going to add a little bit of Kryolan on top of that, just a tiny bit, give me some more coverage. And then I'm going to go into my Born This Way foundation from Too Faced in the color Truffle. Now this is, I think, a little bit darker than my skin tone, but that's okay, because when I add that concealer, I mean, you're gonna see why. I don't really add a full pump of this because it's just so pigmented that I really don't need to. Like, a little really goes a long way with this foundation. Having a little bit of an acne flare, but it's okay, girl. At least it's not cystic. Ooh, but that doesn't mean it hurts any less. Now it's time to conceal. Now I'm going in with my favorite concealer so far, is Tarte Shape Tape in the color Deep Honey. I'm going to use my moist booty blender to blend everything out. Now I'm going to set everything with my girl, Laura Mercer. And before I do anything else, I'm going to use my mattifying setting spray from Urban Decay, D-Slick. Am I even hitting my face? Wow, I really put on a lot there, oh. Okay, on to my next step, brows. I'm going to use the Benefit Ka-Brow in the number 6. This has become my new favorite brow thingy. Like, it's the exact same color as my brow hairs. Like, exactly. Just gonna do a long, straight brow. Now I'm going to use a little bit of Urban Decay's mascara in Perversion. I'm going to try and avoid swiping too harshly because, girl, this applicator is massive. I'm just using this kind of as a brow gel to lift my brows into place and set them. And now I'm going to use this brown eyeliner to fill in the rest of my brow hairs by adding little strokes. And if it looks a little bit too harsh, I tap on it to kind of blend it into the skin a little bit more, make it look a little bit less brown. You know, I don't need gray, cool tone gray, and then like a brown. So for the eyes, I'm gonna do what I always do, and I'm gonna start with a lighter color first, right under the brow. And I'm going to use my 35 OM Morphe palette. As you can see, this palette has literally every color you could ever need in a fall makeup look. One of my favorites. I feel like I've used this in every video. So I'm going to use this light brown color under my eye to highlight. I'm gonna use this light brown all over the lid. Once I've done that, I'm going to go into this chocolate brown and apply this on my outer V. And I'm going to take a blending brush and dip in a little bit to this maroon brown and blend it with the chocolate brown. Now I'm going to take this little itty bitty pointy brush. It's the Morphe E24, and I'm going to take the deepest brown that's in this palette. To me, it's the one in the lower left corner, the most chocolatiest, darkest brown in this palette. I'm going to apply this right in that outer V. And a little bit in my crease. I'm also going to put this in my intercorner right here. And now I'm going to fill up that empty space with Tarte's lip paint. Not quite sure if this is eye safe, so you know, read your instructions. Don't be like me, but I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. But we'll see. And I'm actually going to use this as a base for the next color that I'm about to put on. While that dries, I'm going to put a highlight color on my brow bone, adding some dimension, never hurt nobody. And I'm using Too Faced's Chocolate Bonbon palette. This is like one of my favorite palettes. And I'm going to use Molasses Chip, just this gold. I'm gonna use that same blending brush that I used before and blend that with the colors that we already used. Okay, I think it's safe to say that the liquid lipstick is a little bit dry. I don't want it to be too dry though, because I need it to be tacky for this next shimmer to adhere, which is going to be Skin Foods My Dessert Party. Now, I rarely use this. I don't think I've ever really used this on camera besides the one time where I got it in PR. So she is this really pretty brown. It's got a little cupcake on it. It's a little bit darker than my, a little bit. It's a lot darker than my actual skin tone. This color is S20. Oh, yes. I love this color. It looks so good. I'm going to take just a little teensy bit of Molasses Chip, which is the same color that I used on the brow bone, and I'm going to apply this to the center of my lid. I just want some more, just a little bit more light. Since I completely have neglected my under eye area, I'm going to use just a little bit of this color called Roach. Where is Roach? Roach, where are you? Roach. Roach, calling Roach, please. Roach, if you could please come to the front desk. Oh, found her. Roach. A little bit of this chocolate brown that I use on my upper lid. I'm going to blend that ish out, and a little bit on the inner corner. I'm going back in with that mauve color I used on top of the brown. I'm going to blend that out accordingly. Now I'm going to use one of my favorite dark brown liquid lipsticks from Too Faced, Melted. It is their, what is this called? Wicked? Evil Twin. This is Evil Twin because Wicked is green. It looks almost purple when you start putting it on your mouth. You can definitely see the purple on the clear part of the tube, but it looks dark brown when it dries up. I'm going to take a little bit on a nice sharp angled brush, and I am going to apply this very, very, very carefully. Boom. I'm going to contour the face with the browns that I've got. I'm going to take a nice cool tone brown. I'm going to take a blending brush and soften those lines. Don't want to forget that under cheek contour. I'm using this Morphe E53. Ooh, girl, almost died. Ooh. Ooh. And now I'm going to go in with this terracotta. It's orangey. And use this as blush. Ooh. Now for a finishing touch on the eye, I'm going to take Maybelline's Master Precise ink in metallic golds. I'm going to apply this in my inner contour. Keeping it subtle in the inner corner. Here's the thing, I want to try this it seems kind of random, but it looks pretty, so I just added a line right on top of the halo, just because, like, you can't see anything when you're facing straight on, or at least I don't think you can. At least in person, you can't really see anything. But then when you look up and you hit that light, and you see those little halo lines. A minor detail. It's me being extra and trying to do something different. Now this mascara, I was not gonna lie, Urban Decay, I was side-eyeing you. I was like, I mean, she gets the job done clearly. This brush is out of control though. This brush is so huge. I thought it was a little bit too bright, so I just turned down the brightness a little bit so that way you could really get into this melanin. What did I do? Oh yes, I put on eyelashes. They're very light. Yeah, I decided to go very light. I could have did a really thick lash, but I was like, let's keep it nice, light, and natural. So moving on to my favorite step is to highlights. And I'm going to be using the same color that I've been using this whole time to highlight, and that is Molasses Chip. Gonna be tricky on this side. She's got a little bit of zittage happening. I'm going to dip into this liquid lipstick again. I'm going to use it to create moles right on top of my zits. And now I'm going to use it as a liquid lipstick. So I'm going to very, very carefully apply this around my mouth. Make sure no extra chapstick is left on there. For the center of my mouth, I'm going to be using, what is this called? Wannabe, right? Yes, Wannabe. This is pretty much like my nude lipstick. Too much. And this is my finished look for this fall evening. So if you guys like this tutorial, make sure to like, and special thanks to Vanity Planet for sponsoring today's video. Couldn't have done it without you, girls. Couldn't have done it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial, and until next time, it's been me, Miles J, and I will talk to you guys all later. Bye!